we're using Mystic Light to control everything. So it's controlling our cooler RGB with our fan, and it's controlling our RAM right here. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today on this episode of Newegg Now, we're going to be mixing it up a little bit. I'm going to be showing you guys my latest haul from Newegg, and I want you guys to know that any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. And that being said, if you're interested in any of the products that you see in this video, the links to them will be in the video description. Now let's go ahead, let's just jump right in and look at our first item. All right, so first out of the box, you can see here we have the Corsair MP600 Pro XT. This is an NVMe M.2 SSD with Gen 4 speeds. Check this out, everything looks great. So they're advertising up to 7,100 megabytes per second for our read speeds and up to 6,800 megabytes per second for our write speeds. 2 terabytes is the capacity of the drive that we have. This does feature a 5-year warranty, and it's available in multiple options with different configurations and different heat sinks as well, depending on the version that you get. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and look at it in more detail. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our safety information followed by our user guide and manual walking us through product setup and installation. Instructions in multiple languages, you can see that. They also have their customer service and contact information down here if you have any questions, web, phone, and support email. Then you can see with the drive itself, check out this massive heatsink. This looks so cool. What a great looking drive with the Corsair logo right there. You can see MP600 XT along the side, more product information on the back side, and you can see our M.2 drive peeking out right here. Everything looks great. Let's look at it up close so you can really see this. What a great looking heatsink. Man, if I've ever seen an intimidating M.2 drive, it is definitely this one for sure. That is cool. And it's pretty heavy too. It's got a decent weight to it. What a good looking drive. Now let's go ahead and get it installed. All right, so check it out. You can see we have our drive installed right here. It looks so cool, and it goes really nice with our MSI motherboard. Typically, your M.2 drives are gonna look like this, so this is a really cool upgrade to our board just from an aesthetic standpoint. But now let's go ahead, let's power it on and test out the speeds. So first thing let's look at is how much usable storage do we actually have right out of the box. So I've literally turned on the PC, we formatted the drive, nothing else is on the drive. So out of the 2 terabytes, you have 1.81 terabytes of usable space. Now let's look at our benchmarking results. All right, the results are in. First up, let's take a look at Crystal Diskmark. We got phenomenal results back with this test. Our read results are actually higher than what they advertised. They advertised 7,100 megabytes per second. We nearly got 7,300 megabytes per second. And our write speed, same thing. They advertised 6,800 megabytes per second. And we finished a notch above that, 6,824 megabytes per second. Now, things look a little bit differently using AS SSD. You can see our results right here. So our max read score was 5,900 megabytes per second, and our max write was basically 5,800 megabytes per second. But that's some pretty blazing fast speeds, and it's great to see using a common benchmarking tool like Crystal Diskmark that we actually got better than the results that they advertised. But the good news is we definitely are in ballpark and range with this particular drive and the performance that's advertised. In fact, we're exceeding it. So far, so good. Count me impressed. All right, next up out of the box, you can see we got the Corsair DDR4. This is their Vengeance RGB RT, 32 gigabytes total, 2 sticks of 16 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz. Vengeance RGB RT high performance DDR4 optimized for AMD. Will work with Asus and MSI as well. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our product literature. So we have some safety information followed by our user guide and manual. This is in multiple languages walking us through everything we need to know about installation and how to download the Corsair iCUE software complete with QR codes. Backside, same info again in more languages. And last but not least, you can see we have the RAM itself right here. Check it out. We got the Vengeance logo and branding. That looks so good. This cover is really nice on it. I really like how this RAM looks. And the texture we have. Here's all of our RGB up at the top, and you can see we have the Corsair logo right there. Here it is from the back side. And you can see the nice side profile right here. Here it is from the bottom. You can see all of our pins. Really good looking RAM. Now let's go ahead, let's get it installed. All right, so you can see our test bench right here. Under our cooler, we have an AMD 5600X, which is a great CPU to pair with this RAM. So you can see our 2 slots right there where we're gonna get it installed. So just gently line everything up like you see right here, and then just press in place. So we have a nice little click, and we're gonna do that again with our second stick. Line everything up, and then just gently press in place. There we go. We have just successfully installed our RAM. Now let's go ahead and boot it up. All right, so check it out. We got our PC booted up, and we're looking at the RAM memory settings right now just from Task Manager. So 32 gigabytes has been installed. You can see what's currently in use, and you can see we are getting our speed of 3200 megahertz. Now let's go ahead, let's look at some of the RGB lighting options that we have. So we have all the studio lights off right now. We currently have the RGB set to rainbow. Check it out, everything looks great. We're using Mystic Light to control everything. So it's controlling our cooler RGB with our fan, and it's controlling our RAM right here. Keep in mind, you can use Mystic Light like we're doing since we have an MSI board, or again, we can use the iCUE software directly from Corsair. If you want the best experience, chances are you're gonna have to use Corsair software, but as you can see right here, we're still able to control everything via our motherboard's RGB software. In this case, like we said, Mystic Light for MSI. So that's rainbow. Let me show you just a couple quick settings from within our Mystic Light. So now we're doing a marquee one. So we just applied that. So you can see how that looks. And keep in mind with this transition, I feel like there's a slight delay you can see between the RAM and our cooler. So that's something we got to work with here in our particular case with our test bench. Now let's do our breathing style. So you can see it's transitioning right there to our pulse. That one synced up pretty good. Not too bad. Obviously, we could change the color if we want. Now let's try our flashing option. All right, so it just reset here. So here's our flashing. Again, that one's pretty accurate as well, which is good. And then do we want to do, what's color shift? Let's try color shift right here, and we'll apply that for everything. Ooh, that's nice. Check that out. That one's doing great. Really nice, very responsive. Everything's working great with the software as you would expect and as advertised. Next up out of the box, we have our Corsair iCUE LS100 Starter Kit. This is a smart lighting strip kit from Corsair. Check this out. It looks really nice. We're going to be lighting it up. You can learn more about what's included on the back side. And you can see on this side, we have our different variations in our short and our long strips that are included. We have two 250 millimeter strips and two 450 millimeter strips. But wait, there's more. This goes right along with it. We also have our iCUE LS100 Smart Lighting Strip Expansion Kit. So this is going to give us some additional lighting strips. We're going to get two more 250 millimeter strips. Now let's go ahead, let's open them up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. To the left, you can see everything that's included with the starter kit, two 450 millimeter strips and two 250 millimeter strips. And then we have a whole bunch of accessories. You can see our different cables, our mounting options, our controller. To the right, you can see we have the expansion kit right here with two additional 250 millimeter strips. Now let's go ahead, let's get them installed. So you can see on our shelves right here, we have the starter kit and the expansions installed together, and everything is working great. We're using the magnetic mount, so it just sticks and slaps right onto our shelf without any issues, and I'm really happy with how everything looks. Now let's go ahead, let's turn off the lights and look at this in more detail. So first up, the preset that we're looking at is our rainbow wave, so you can see how it's waving across the lights. Really nice. It looks great. The RGB rainbow colors are fantastic. Next up, you can see we have our regular rainbow. It's going to cycle through the different colors, and we can adjust the speed. Slow, if you guys want to see here, slow. Then we'll go ahead after it changes colors, we'll switch to medium. So it just changed to that green. Now we have medium right here, so you can see how fast that is. And then we have our fastest option as well. All right, next up we have our color shift. So you can see that very similar to rainbow. We can choose random colors or alternating. Next we have our color pulse. So it's going to give us a nice pulse as it changes colors. Pretty cool transition there. We'll watch it again. Next we have our color wave. You can see our color wave right here. Again, it's going in order as how the lights are connected. Next you can see we have our sequential option. I really like that. Those colors are fantastic. That green, mint green, was really cool. All right, next up you can see we have our strobe right here. Then we have our visor. You can see this one. Little worm snaking across the screen. So cool. Then we have marquee, and we can change that color if we don't want red. And again, we can change the speed. And then lastly, this one's really cool. We have a temperature option. So currently it's using our CPU temp sensor and giving us a readout with our light. So we have three different options. Green is currently set to 20 degrees Celsius. Yellow is set to 40 degrees Celsius. And then red is set to 60 degrees Celsius, but we can change the temp and those three colors however we see fit. Well, all right, guys, as you can see, there's nothing else left in the box. We'll just have to wait and see what shows up next time. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.